All right, guys, welcome back. Now, on this trade, I'll be teaching you how to take your trade. All right, what are the things that you need to look out for before you take your trade as a trader? All right, and there are three things that I will be talking about that you need to look out for as a trader before taking your trade. And number one is timing. Number two is pattern, and then number three is entry signal. All right, so now let's now go to number one now. All right, now this timing is very important when it comes to trading. All right, if you get everything right and you did not get the timing right, your trade is not going to go well. So timing works with your pattern and your entry. All right. And the timing, the reason why we need to wait for the right time before we take our trade is because you need to wait for when the market has volume, when there is good volatility in the market. When there is good volatility in the market, you can easily make profit from the market. But when there is no volatility in the market, you will keep having losing strike. You see some trader, they will enter the market about 5, 8, 10 times, and then when the real time comes for them to take the trade, they have already lost their money, or they have already blown their account, or they have lost their capital. Has it ever happened to you that you've been trying to take a particular trade and then it has been not stopping, you are stopping now, but immediately your funds finished? That was when the trade now went your direction. Now, such thing can be because of the timing. You need to learn to wait for the right timing where there is volatility in the market. If you want to be a good trader, timing is very important. You don't just trade at every point in time in the market. There are specific time that you have to trade in the market, and those specific time are the period where there is a very good volatility in the market. Now, for example, for myself, I trade the New York session. All right. At what time do I trade the New York session? I take my trade when it is 8:45. Okay, 8:45, that is my precise timing. That is when volatility kicks up. All right, 8:45. Now if there is no volatility as at that 8:45, I'll wait till 9:30. In between these two times, 8:45 or 9:30. At 8:45, I'm already looking for my entry signal. All right, at 8:45, I'll make sure that I find an entry signal. If I did not find my entry signal, all right, I will not take the trade. So your timing also have to go with your entry signal. Then if I did not find at 8:35, then I'll wait till 9:30. So by 9:30, I'll be looking for my entry signal to take the trade. All right. So that is the primary foundation that you need to understand on taking a trade. Number one, your timing. All right. And if you are trading London session, okay, that will be by that's by 8. All right, by 8. Yeah, of course, by 8. By 8, 1 hour is GMT. So by 8 you take your trade. All right, so timing is very important. Our advice, if you want to be a good trader, all right, do not trade outside your trading timing. Have a trading time where you take, where your there's volatility in the market, then you can make profit. Then number two has to do with your pattern. All right, your pattern. Trading has to do with pattern. Like example, this is my chart. There are different patterns that you need to learn to identify in your trading space, and I would like to draw some of them so that you can help us and see how we can identify uh, some in the market. Okay, okay. Now, like we have a double. Excuse me. Sorry for that. We have a double bottom. Okay, something like this. Okay, this is one. Okay, then we have our, this is another. Okay, then we have I'll just only to put the double top, the popular ones, okay, and also your this. So these identifying this pattern in a trade is something that will give you an edge. Now, sometimes it may not come very clear, obvious as this, but it's very important that you learn to identify it. Now, how do you take your trade when and how do you know if this is a double top or it's not a double top? All right. Now, there are confirmation that you need to put in place. Example, let's assume you want to trade a double top. You are trying to pick a double top. What are the things you look at for? Now let me show you how. Now let a double top now has, let's say this is trying to draw this. This is how a double top pattern looks like in the original sense. Okay. Now usually when the trade goes up, okay, one touch, it returns back, goes up, second touch, okay, then it comes down and go back up, form your V, then one touch, and then return back down and go back again to touch again. Once it touch again, all right, and then it breaks, it touches and it comes back down a little. Okay, it touches and it comes back down a little. You can decide to, take your trade, because originally if this trade is going to be a continuation trade, you will see something like this. It will touch and even break through, okay, return back to this point and go up, and then we will up once, return back again, and then go back up. All right, so now when you get to a height like as this, okay, now you are, don't forget the pattern, please. We are trying to trade the double top here. Okay. So when you notice something like this in a trade, now sometimes this can break out. Okay. Please, sometimes this trade can just break out. Okay. Then it will return back down. So it will break out, you see a week, okay, and then it turn back down. Once it turn back down, okay, and then you see a lot of indecision candles, okay, like something. Let me show you what indecision candle mean. Now you see a lot of rejection, something like this. Now you find a lot of rejection. Okay, this pattern is a is a common pattern when it comes to, you see, this week. Whenever you see this rejection, okay, and then it's the now this dropped, because if it's going to be a continuation, it is just going to be something like this here, and then to go up. This first candle, if it is not broken, okay, if this point is not broken, and you see the next, and you see this red candle and not blue, if this red candle did not end in blue for a continuation upwards, okay, like if this candle did not end in this, let me put some color so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay, if this candle did not end in this green, because if it's going to go up, it's supposed to end in, supposed to, okay, continue. Okay, good. Now this is supposed to be, if this candle, this, now you look at this red candle, if it ends to be up like this, okay, you know that, okay, market is going to continue upwards. Then the next candle is going to just uh, drop, okay, halfway, okay, and then it will start pushing up. Okay, after it returns downwards, okay, it will go back up. All right. But then if it's this candle ends just like the way it ends here in red, okay, just like the way this candle it ends here right now in red, okay, it ends in red already. All right. So what you just do is you just take your trade here, and then your stop loss will be above the wick. Always put your stop loss above the wick like this, right? So now let's come back to our drawing now, our pattern now. So when you see it there like this, then okay, you know that all right, the trade there is no breakout. The trade is going to return down. Okay, then you can take your trade. Then let's assume now you are not able to catch up this trade at this point of entry, at this end. Okay, you are not able to catch up uh this trade at this end. Why is my screen looking so slim? Why is it looking so slim? Okay, sorry. So okay, good. So let's say I'm not able to catch this trade at this end. Okay, I'm able to catch this trade at this point now, at this point here. Okay, now you can still wait for the trade. Let's say the trade now start dropping from up to break down here and come down here. When it gets to this point, okay, now look at this point here now where I marked. Okay, it will now return back to this point, and then when it return back to this point, do not come back down. Okay, so always if you are not able to catch this drop down, when it drops, you wait for it to break this support zone. When it breaks this support zone, it will come back down. Then it will now go back to retest. Or it will go back and then make the support to become a resistance. I said in my last video that when a support breaks through a resistance zone, the resistance becomes a support. And when a resistance breaks through a support zone, the support becomes support. So if you break through this support and then go back to go and retest the support that have now become a resistance, then at this point now, this is also another beautiful point where you can take your trade with ease. So this is one of the best confirmation. At this point, when it comes to retest this spot, okay, although it's going to go in a bit, okay, when it goes up, it will pass this zone and maybe come at this point. So you wait for it to hit this point and pass it in a little bit. Then you can take your trade down. Okay, once it has passed, then you know that this trade here, you can take it from here down. Then your stop loss will be up here. Put it here. Your top loss will not be here. Please don't put your stop loss here. Put it here. But when you take your trade from this point here, you can put your stop loss at this point. Now, those are the best region where you can recognize your entry. Okay, when you recognize your pattern, then your entry, those are the best region where you can now take your entry after recognizing your pattern. Now, let's go to the chart and see some of this pattern that we're talking about. One of the best entry uh, candles that you can identify is this shooting star candle. You see, when you find something like this, okay, now you can see this this trade here, you can see this pattern. Let me draw it. You can see, hope you can see this. You can see this pattern here. You get. Now you can see this double top here now, where I'm at. You can see how the trade came back down, came back to this point. What I was just trying to explain to you now, and return back down. Can you see it? Let's use another color. Seems like, okay, let's use blue. Now, can you see what I was trying to explain? Now look at how this trade came after it broke through here. Okay, it came back down. It came back. Now when it came down here, it went back to retest and touched this point. Okay, so now this is actually the best area now to take your own trade. This point here, yeah, I'm just marked. Can you see? Now you take your trade, then it drops down and take your profit. So if you did not catch it here and you miss it, fine, you wait for it to go and retest backward to this point. Then you can take the trade and then you take profit here. All right. So this is how you can pick your trade very comfortably and then minimize your stop loss. Now let's look at another one. Now you can see this one. These are things that you just carefully have to learn how to identify them in the market. Okay, let's look at this now. This one, okay, a double bottom that failed. Sometimes you can see failed to supposed to go up, okay, but now there was no volatility, so the market decided to break down. Okay, when it broke down, you can see the retest. It went back to retest. I hope you can see. There's always a retest. I hope you can see the red line there where it went to retest before it dropped down. You can see the red line where, I don't know if you can see it. Let me zoom this so that you can see it better. Okay. Hope you can see where it went back. It came back to retest at this point. Look at it here. And then taking trade now. Entry will be this point here. When it retest, you just come and take your entry. Alright? Let's have one more example. If I can still find one more example, then we are done for this class. Okay, so all right, I guess we're going to stop here. So when you find your patterns, okay, your entry point, you wait for a retest, okay, and then you pick your trade. Then you need to learn to recognize this shooting star wicks. Okay, once you see something like this at your retest point, okay, at those resistance point, you take your trade, and that's all. All right, so see you in our next tutorials.